welcome back to the end of another week. It's the end of Sunday and it's beautiful. It's been cold, so not much has happened. The trees are still waking up. So up in the orchard, we definitely have life coming. So that's exciting. It's always nice to know that the trees that we got dormant are actually alive and coming back. What's been happening? It has been cold and rainy, so I haven't been doing too much. My inside plants are coming out during the day, but then going back in at night because it's just too cold. And I've gone ahead and started some more things, so all of my cuttings seem to be doing okay. My little seedlings, at least some, are popping up. The dill isn't really coming, but the lemongrass and marjolaine, basil isn't really coming either. As a matter of fact, this little seedling that was there, you can see has actually bit the dust. So, because it got too cold, and basil doesn't like cold. So yeah, we'll see. This is actually my lovage. I got some root cuttings and went ahead and put them in there, and I planted some leeks in here that haven't come up yet. And then these, what are these? Oh yeah, these are the like the walking garlic, basically. It's garlic that creates little bulbils on the top and then walks along. The path here has gotten more mulch, so that's looking nice. I still have to finish a little bit more, and then when I was uncovering it, we noticed that the there was an animal that dug a hole there, and now the downspout is putting all its water under the ground there rather than going to the outlet on the other side. Up in the chicken area, I did get some more mulch down, so that's cool. And then this pile of rocks and that pile of rocks and that pile of rocks are all the big chunky rocks that I'm kind of taking out of the top layer here. What I think happened is that when we bought the property, there was actually a very large structure here that they used for storage. It was basically like a giant, like, bricked garage thing that they actually took down and moved with them to their new place. But I think when they had that, they basically created a giant, like, pad here of these big rocks. So as I've been digging them out of where I don't want them, I've been moving them here because I don't mind having the big chunky rocks along here. So yeah, you can just see that over time I've been relocating the rocks here, and I may actually even put some out in there at some point. It really depends on how many I get, but like this entire area is super rocky. So you can definitely see all of the, you see, like this is all rocks. So yeah, I don't mind the rocks necessarily because they do, provide a lot of stability for the ground here. But if I want to do any planting, they become kind of a pain. And we noticed that when we were like putting in the posts here, because obviously trying to drill post through rock is a pain. All my potato, they haven't been planted, but they have been kind of filled up with dirt, and they all have their little holes here. So about 4 inches or 10 centimeters from the bottom, I've drilled holes, 4 holes on the quadrants. And then I'm filling it up with some potting soil. I'll fill it up about 20 centimeters with potting soil and then put my potatoes in. And then as they sprout and grow, we'll just keep hilling them up. So that's what's going in here. And Francis did come out and help me with the chicken cage. So the cage is basically done all the way around. We have chicken, the new 1/2-inch mesh, and I've brought the mulch back around the floor. So there's also a skirt going all the way around it. And then he actually re-machined a handle here, because so the door was originally designed to open out, and I didn't want that because when I come in the morning, the chickens are going to be out here. So I wanted the door to be able to open in so that I could control whether or not they're coming out a little easier. So the door handle latch thing was on the inside, so he had to remake a piece that's the opposite of the original piece so that we have the handle, the latch out here. So that's being painted. And then there's still a few little pieces, like I need to add some more of these stainless steel cable ties, like in this space, to make sure that everything's secure. And then we jerry-rigged a door handle. So yeah, so it does actually close, and the connection here is pretty good with the overlapping wire, and then there's overlapping wire there. And the weak point is actually down here, because since it opens up, like a fox or something could definitely like I'm holding it at the top, but you know, some big animal could come in there. So our plan is that we're actually going to drive like 2 posts on either side and create another gate basically right here to make it difficult to get into that little space there. So we think, so basically it'll have a latch here, and then it'll have a secondary closure in the front, and we think everywhere else is secure. So if this holds up, then the chicken area should be great. In the garden, we got a lot of rain. And like I say, it's been cold. So if I come up here, yeah, you can see we got 35 centimeters of rain. So that's kind of wild. And this says the lowest was -3. These aren't super reliable. Like, they're not super accurate. But we have definitely, like, the weather has said that it's been getting into like the 0 to -1. And I kind of figure out whether or not it actually freezes by looking at my guy here. So you can see that, yes, it did actually freeze. So this is his previous damage from frost. And then he grew more stuff, and this is his new frost damage. Interestingly, this little tiny one didn't freeze, but like this got frost damage. So yeah, this is the yak on. He's having a hard time because he is super frost sensitive, and definitely a kind of the canary in the coal mine with regard to whether or not it freezes. So yes, definitely evidence that it got below 0. The parsley is doing pretty well. It looks like some of it may be bolting and wanting to go to flower, which is fine because like this stuff has been going for a while. My chives are coming back beautifully. Like several weeks ago, I had to cut them all the way to the ground because they had the rust fungal thing going on, but they've come back really nicely, and I have like a random leak there. But yeah, everything else is doing well. These are some sort of perennial leek. These are elephant garlic. My onions are still doing their thing, and we have these little funky like cup mushrooms that are popping up in there. The asparagus is going to frond. So yeah. Starts as a nice little edible asparagus, and then it does this, which is exactly what we want it to do for the first little bit. So yeah, this one's doing it, but like over there, that one is still technically edible. But yeah, asparagus, you plant them and then you basically just let them do their thing for 2 to 3 years. And at the second year, so this year we're not harvesting any of these. And the second year in the ground, we could potentially do a limited harvest. And then the third year is really the year where you can start harvesting all of them. And we're still missing, that one never really surfaced, and this one never really surfaced. And some of the other ones that had surfaced are still kind of below the dirt. So that's fine, but we'll see what happens there. My perennial kale got eaten. This one's starting to try to come back. So we'll see what happens. I am planning, here's another one, but it's down to just a stick. I am planning to come back out and actually put like protective cloches on these. Not to protect them from the weather because they're hardy, but to try to give them time to grow before whatever comes back and eats them again. So that's going to happen this week as soon as I get around to it. I'm waiting for the rest of the connectors to come in so I can finish doing the irrigation. But as soon as that happens, we'll have irrigation out in here, and I will start using some of my straw over there to mulch and prepare for planting. I wanted to plant before, but since we had this cold snap, I'm waiting till probably like mid this week before I plant any seeds directly in the ground, because it's just too cold. So yeah, that's what's happening out in the garden. Things to come are just not anything in particular. I'm just chugging on. But yeah, you can, the fig is definitely waking up. Even my strawberries are starting to come to life. I have to get in here and weed some of these things that are not strawberries, but yeah, hopefully we'll get some strawberries soon once the weather warms up a bit. And yeah, if we're lucky, the passion fruit over there is still alive, and the passion fruit that's around the corner there is still alive. But if they aren't, I actually have 2 more passion fruits down in my like propagation experimental area that I could plant out. And passion fruits aren't that difficult to just grow from seeds, and I have some more seeds, so that might be a thing too. I am also doing a lot more research on the orchard because we have the trees, but I'm also planning on, I think I'm going to be growing kiwis along the fence line here. because they like the sun, which will be fine because I think they'll still get a decent amount of sun, at least for the first couple of years while the trees are coming in. Plus, I am planning on pruning the trees to keep them pretty compact. So we'll have we'll probably have kiwis along the fence line, and then I want to throw in some shrubs and some other things growing along this like stretch here. So that eventually that entire thing is going to get mulched and planted with more edible stuff. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We got a lot of rain. I am thinking more about rain capture, but the space here is pretty tight. And eventually we want to build a greenhouse. But even if we did build a greenhouse here, the greenhouse wouldn't go the entire length. So on either side, since we have downspouts on either side, we could potentially put some rain barrel collection things there. But yeah, other than that, eventually I'll try to get Francis to come out and mow down the grassy weeds. Probably sooner than later, because I think at the very least I want him to really mow down all the way along here before I start laying down the cardboard and the mulch. But yeah, that's what happened. There's actually the train just passed way over there. And yeah, so it's the end of this week. I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you next week. Bye.